Is it us?
Is it us? Are we doing it?
It's us on the internet, guys.
Screen?
Oh, wait, we're doing
Our
things?
special patron
us on
only
the internet.
Q&A.
Hello, patrons.
Hey, guys.
Things.
I see
It's
Connie.
so nice to be with you.
Yeah, Connie Rodehaver-Kaiser. Hi, guys.
Hello, hello. We got Hope Tracy in there. Andrew Pollard's in here. That's nice. It's
What's
good
up,
to see you all.
Andrew? How are you?
Hi,
everybody.
You guys are already making mention of last night's episode, which was a doozy.
It was-
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, there was so much that happened. So many things happened.
To quote Andrew, it was super good.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I know that everybody on the couch was super stressed out. I know that at the end of it, I was stressed out. We were all like on the edge of our seats. So much crazy stuff happened. But
I know
man.
before we started this Q&A, I was talking about this, and it's kind of funny to think about, but like, emotionally speaking, for so long I played, like we played so many games where like I was so emotionally invested in, like, I've got to get to Amy, I've got to, you know, we've got to save these people, we got to get the hags, we got to protect Alex and figure out what's going on with the hags and stuff. And half joking, but really kind of serious about this, like these last few episodes with Marcus having no emotional anchor or center point and just being like my whole thing is whenever Craig or anybody says, do you want to do this? I'm okay. Okay. So like, but I approach that. So like last night's game was very much like, oh yeah, cast the thing. I do the thing, right? And and just these things are happening.
Your money?
Right, yeah. And so, but so I don't.
I have money and a potion. Here, what do I do?
I know. But I think after the game, it wasn't until after the game that it sank into me what a roller coaster it was, because I came in just like, oh, okay, and then like I had to sink in, and I was like, oh my god, like legit, Crag and Quigley like almost died.
Oh yeah.
And like,
yeah.
it wasn't good.
I think that overall, because like definitely in the fight with the Red Caps, they were nasty and they were dishing out a ton of damage. But I want to say that if we took a look at how much damage I dealt and how much damage the party dealt to each other, they might be pretty equal in terms of how much you guys just wrecked yourselves last night.
Yeah, and I think it's even scarier knowing that you're putting us in a situation where legit somebody's failing that save, and we're gonna get infested with this purple pox. And did we? So because Lyra rolled the nat 20 on that. So do we know? Did she tell us the like gestation period before we become?
No, I don't think we've gotten into the actual mechanics of how purple pox works. I do want to check out one thing because there is a
Tobias
chance.
is here, by the way.
Oh,
Tobias
hey,
is
Tobias.
here?
It's
What's
good
up,
to
Tobias?
see
You can watch
man.
it live. You can watch it live.
What's up, Tobias? You're watching us live.
Because it's like 7 p.m. or something for him now.
for the first time in so long. Welcome, man. We've missed you.
There's a chance that
There's a chance that we all die.
No. Well, I mean, there's always a chance that you all die. But no, actually, you guys are semi-safe in the sense that now that Lyra has access to 3rd level cleric spells, she actually has removed disease. So it's not an automatic death sentence. Well, that's always a 50-50.
Dude, when she wasn't
She's
healing
a healer.
you, when she wasn't healing you last night, and you were taking so much damage.
I mean,
I was just like, whoa.
By the way, tons of spoilers if you're just tuning in because we're talking about
Last night,
night's
we
episode.
can't not talk about last night's episode. There was
No,
too
it's
much
true.
that went on.
It's
Like,
true,
we've
but
got to
if you
talk
haven't
about
seen
it.
it or you want to see it, earmuff it or look away for
That's
a
actually
couple
the title.
minutes.
That's actually the title of episode 16. We can't not talk about last night.
I mean, I like that Lyra is leaning into her spell book and seeing
No,
what else
yeah,
is
I mean,
out there.
Of course.
Like
it's-
that prayer
yeah.
was awesome.
No, that was
Prayer
really
works really
effective
well.
and really cool. And I don't fault Ashley at all for wanting to explore what she can do. But it is really tough for this group to be successful when their main source of heals is not fulfilling that role.
Like when
Which
everyone
sucks.
told me, like everyone told me, you're fine. Don't buy the cure light wounds.
Yeah,
You
because
don't
it's like,
need 'em.
yeah,
I got
because, you get pushed
I'ma
to
lay
do
hands,
certain
I'ma do
things.
this.
Why
Yeah.
did you not? I didn't know you because I wasn't here for that part of the shopping part. I didn't realize you didn't buy. Like I
They
just
kept telling
assumed
me
you
not
all
to. They're
had.
like, no, you're fine. You don't need to. I'm like, well, you guys then. We'll get them then.
Yeah, like you absolutely should have at least some like emergency potions. Like that's standard.
Why didn't you take
do
that?
not
Why didn't you
listen
take
to
that
those
Cure
bottles.
Cure
last
moderate
night?
right now.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
didn't
well,
you
now
just
you've
be
gotta
like,
Cure
I'll
moderate,
take
yeah.
that because Marcus would be like, okay. Like again, legit anything you guys
Like,
want.
all right.
He's just gonna be like, okay.
I
Like,
want
whatever.
that ring and that ring.
No, what he'll do is he'll go, okay, well, I don't know if you can use them, but here you go. Like that's what I'll do, because like whatever.
Oh my god. It's so funny watching the chat try to guess where the players are hit point wise.
Oh yeah.
It's like when Quigley's does Quigley have 40 something or does he have 6 something? I don't know what's
Andrew Pollard want people to die?
because it's exciting.
It's not exciting.
These guys get so stressed
I was
out
gonna say,
when they're about to die.
I don't think that people understand how emotionally invested this cast is. It affects these people, and by these people I mean myself included, throughout the week. There is worry and concern. Like when Crag had mummy rot, it legit affected your life.
He was messaging me like twice a day, and it was the saddest stuff. It was like he had given up on life, and he was like, "Well, I mean, like, what should I do for another character? I mean, I guess I'll just roll. Like, I'm already dead, obviously. Like, there's no literal hope in real life anymore, is there? Because Crag has mummy rot. He was so sad.
Hope
So
Trace,
sad.
Hope Trace says she doesn't want any of our characters to die, and Tobias says I tuned in this morning just for the Alex sneak crit on Quigley, just those 5 minutes, and I was like, great, I tune in and someone almost dies.
Dude, yeah, you guys have to, it amazes me. We talk about the emotional investment, like when you watch Alex's face, when she rolls that 20, like she immediately almost bursts into actual real life tears because she thought like, I just killed Quigley. She was seriously upset about that stuff, you know? And people, we care quite a lot about these characters.
Luckily, it wasn't the shocking sword.
I think I'm beating.
Oh yeah, because she deals 11d6 damage with that thing.
Yeah.
So it's good.
That would have been. No, sneak attack's not tripled still, but
no.
doubled. What's the crit on?
The weapons damage gets doubled.
The rapier would have been brutal.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, because it just deals so much more damage.
I mean, to the point of player death, though, if a player dies, we're not losing the actor.
No,
like Eric will still play something else.
Yeah.
Caveman Dave, for example. But
and you guys are also you don't have the wealth for it, but you're getting to a point where your characters can gain access to a lot of the restorative magic. So like,
and I want to make you a bugbear.
Is like even if like say Crag dies, as long as they keep the body intact, like theoretically they could get you to a temple, you know.
But
yeah,
don't get eaten by a dragon because
don't get eaten because then the body's If you get disintegrated, there's nothing that can help you. But
I mean, if there's
a wish,
mummy rot specifically does not allow resurrection. Unfortunately, there are actually some undead abilities where, like, if the undead kills you, you rise as that undead creature. So that's no good. Don't let that happen.
So you need a wish at that point.
Yeah, you would need like a wish or true resurrection.
Or true resurrection.
And those things are like those are really expensive. Yeah, true love's kiss. Yeah, you gotta have true love's kiss.
That cures everything.
Yeah,
I've seen all the fairy tales. It always works, no matter what.
I wanted to take a moment because even though Blair Peterson is not with us, he of course sent in a couple of questions. He's always got a lot of insightful questions.
While you're looking up those questions, I wanted to address Jay Womack, who I believe Jay was in the Discord. He's not in the chat right now, but if this gets relayed to him in some way, he was asking why no more weekly Q&As. And I think that there's kind of multiple answers for that. One is oversaturation of Q&As is one simple answer. Two is we want people to watch quality content from our channel on a regular basis, and so by removing the Q&As from a weekly standpoint, we can do more of that quality content and thus get hopefully more viewers, which will help us on Twitch to get more stuff to happen. Why are you laughing at me?
Because our Q&As are poor quality.
No, it's yep.
Well, I'm not a good person to talk.
Well, you're just not a good
person. I think one of the things about
okay, person, I'm just not that great.
No, it's what I mean by quality of content is it's just more like a production. We want to give you a production. If you're tuning in, we want to give you a production.
Well, and if you stumble across the channel and you don't know the show,
right?
The
Q&A isn't
have a lot of value to you.
Yeah, it's not doing any good. So, so we want, and there's also, quite honestly, as a patron, which you all are who are watching us right now, there should be some specialness to getting to be able to have that as your tier on. You guys are donating your hard-earned money, and this type of thing, this type of interaction should be a little bit more special and a little more unique to you. So that was kind of our way of doing it. So it's not like we'll never do another public Q&A, But for right now, they're going to be Patreon Q&As, and yeah, we'll just see what happens going forward. But basically, this is my long-winded way of saying expect more content that is more production-y and stuff.
Polished.
Things. Polished.
I've got Blair Peterson. Whenever you get around to
those are some
watching
paragraphs.
He's
Well,
got,
let's just take a nap here.
He's always got a lot of insightful questions.
Well, let me play a couple games on my phone now.
But his first one was, Dwindle once said that the orcs want to gather their strength and march on the Greenlands to kill all the Pinkskins. Does this possibility still exist, or has this arc come and gone?
Of course it does, Blair.
Well, first of all, the orcs always want to gather their strength, march on the Greenlands, and kill the Pinkskins. That's why the orcs exist in Pathfinder. But specifically in returning to that arc that played out in the marshlands, if you guys remember, the players went to the orc fort. They broke Vander out of prison. They broke Dwindle out of the imprisonment.
Yeah, the Mad Bomber.
They killed the Mad Bomber.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
No, he's still alive. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
He's actually still alive.
In my face.
He spit in your face and ran out.
Is that why you don't like small people?
Yeah, he did survive. But
Is that the root?
Essentially a lot of the orc forces were destroyed in the fighting. A lot of their capability for developing the alchemist fire, which is going to be their sort of secret weapon against in a siege against Trapsborough. A lot of that, basically like a huge setback. Now, obviously, the orcs were not destroyed; they still exist down there. Would they ever make a return? Maybe. But a lot of their momentum was stalled out. So they lost a ton of their hunters and warriors.
Their rebellion was like 8 guys.
Didn't they lose? We took out their shaman.
Yeah.
And then they lost a bunch of guys when they whatever that beast was.
There was
cave.
which we never knew what was outside because we found Daryl
Got to
Axeltrand.
find Vander.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys remember, like, you actually destroyed a lot of their higher level capabilities. So basically, what's left of those forces has like lost their momentum. Now, that being said, it's not like they're gone. They may, they have to find a hope, but they gotta get a new purpose. They gotta recruit. They gotta, the rebellion's gotta start basically from scratch. If
Mad Bombers recruiting.
The Mad Bombers gotta get back into it.
But yeah, can you trust what Dwindle says though?
Can you trust what Dwindle says? Dwindle's never really steered anybody wrong.
I mean,
he's grumpy, but he's never lied.
What the heck was that thing though that was outside
We don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. That was it's the
Except for
mystery
Jim.
creature.
Jim
I don't know
knows.
about that.
Only Jim knows.
maybe Jim doesn't.
Because
Vander
Vander,
knows.
yeah,
If
Vander.
Vander's still alive, he
Vander's
knows.
still alive, but now we know that Vander's also some part of some sneaky sneak dealing
That's
with.
true. Yeah, he was a part of Alex's past. So it's like, did he lie about how he met Alex, or like did that happen before
It
or
was
after?
true
Like it's
from a
That is a good
certain
question.
from a certain point of view.
Did
like,
he?
I don't
Did he,
know.
Jim?
Why we look at it like who knows? It's a mystery.
This is an exclusive Q&A, Jim. Time to reveal some secrets
I'm going to
here.
exclusively move on to question number 2 from Blair. If Eric is there, and he is, Crag has not seemed to use his princely status to help the party out of a pinch. Do you think he would ever do this, or has he sworn off this aspect of his past? Tell us about your
Tell us
nobility.
about your nobility.
Come on,
Crag.
Prince Crag.
Yeah, your regal status.
I feel like Craig's not one to tote that around.
No.
Like, he's not.
He's
gonna
more
push
of
in
a
people's
poop on the
faces.
floor kind of guy,
More of
not
a poop
a.
on the floor kind of guy, but
But he gets girls.
It's true. He's got.
Got the girls.
But I don't think that would mean anything to anyone in the world. Like, I'm a barbarian. And
Yeah, try
they don't
using
care
it on
about- Yeah,
Marcus.
it's like, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't think that matters in the world to people.
I wonder, like, how much weight that even carries back at the tribe, because a lot of with the barbarians, it's all about power through strength, and it's like, you're the prince because your
improved
family's the
because of-
strongest. If somebody stepped up and challenged you directly and beat you,
Well,
like
it's birthright.
it's yeah,
That's why I think Crag would go out to try to prove
Yeah.
himself.
right,
Barbarian
because,
prince
because
is
you
like-
have to hold
I don't
on
know.
to that
It
strength.
might-
It's not just it's not divine right of kings.
But
with
the
barbarians.
question is, it's like,
In the barbarian world, yeah, but in civilized world, it might, even if it carries enough to get like audiences.
Right, but I think a lot of that has to do with how Crag sees it. Like, if Crag doesn't internalize this idea that he has a status by birthright that matters,
like-
then why would he
like,
use that?
I feel
Instead
like
It
of
wouldn't occur to
Marcus
him.
putting the crown
the
on
question.
the guy, maybe Eric's like, I'm the prince and I'm here
Well,
to
I
talk.
mean, yeah,
but
but
the
like,
question is, what is happening at the Bleeding Yet camp. Like, who is in charge?
When was the last time you checked in?
That's true. You guys haven't.
But
even
we
been back
don't
there.
even know. But we don't know.
But what I'm saying is you have been in the Greenlands for so long, you haven't gone back to the... So, one, have they just been like, well, Prince Crag doesn't care about us? Or are they... What are they doing? Are they suffering from this woe
Who really
thing?
knows? Because, like Jim said before, it's all separate universes. So did the things happen in Walking in Circles? Is Crag's father dead? I don't know where to go. Jim,
Yeah, well, I mean,
you're
that's
the
stuff
story.
that when
You're
we,
the story guy.
if you ever go back in that direction, that's stuff that can be visited.
I mean,
and
you
we'll,
just
we'll
teleport
expand
in
on
there.
that, but-
Yeah,
That
let's
works
just,
out.
let's just go. Yeah,
Well,
we'll
at some
teleport.
point you'll be once you get access to teleport.
It'll be great.
But as far as it goes, is Drax in charge? Is Horus dead? Like those kind of things.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would say that.
So basically, the
Drax would be in
storyline
charge. Yeah,
kind of
your origin story is relatively intact. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we saw a dragon that ate.
I don't
my
think you
dad.
saw the dragon. I think the idea is your father, Horus, was eaten by a dragon. Drax is in charge.
Yeah.
So that's
You never
other
went to
stuff
go
didn't
see...
happen.
Yeah, you never went to go see...
You never went on that
Sithalan and
particular
Zalbar.
journey.
Yeah,
So
your journey was just...
Everything
this is your-
pre-episode 1 exists.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the events that unfolded since.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm Prince anymore, even.
Well, no, it just doesn't mean... It doesn't mean that Drax had your father eaten. Like, that just... There's a different story that was told. It could even be that Horus is dead, maybe not even at the hands of it or claws or teeth of a
Yeah, but
dragon.
even before, I don't think Craig ever referred to himself as a prince, really.
No, again, I just think that's not
The
claimed-
party
something.
knows that, though, right?
He claimed his right to the throne, but I didn't go around calling myself Prince Crag. Only the two knuckleheads called me Prince
Yeah, but I
Crag.
mean, like...
But the party
a
knows that you're a
barbarian
prince.
that's like Corinthian leather. Like, who cares?
Because if the party knows that he's a prince, it may explain why Lyra's crush is there, so she
Here's
can
the
be
thing,
a
though.
princess.
What Lyra,
That's
That's a
true.
Lyra land.
She's
Ah,
very.
Yes, Lyra does want that princess.
But what Lyra doesn't realize, I don't think Lyra's ever watched Walking in Circles.
No,
And she
I
doesn't,
don't think she's ever seen it.
she doesn't know how Crag feels about elves. And he doesn't really like elves all that much.
He doesn't like anybody.
like a lot of any of the races. He doesn't really like anything.
Craig
But
doesn't like anything. That's right. He doesn't like magic. He doesn't like
he doesn't
anything.
like, Crag likes to kill.
Craig likes to kill. He likes
Craig
smashing
likes-
things.
Craig
He likes
likes
it when he
smashing
does
things.
75 damage to a creature.
Yes.
he,
But
likes breaking PRs. That's it.
it's going to be tough for her when she finds out that. And you guys can't share this out there and even let... I know she's half-elf, Tobias, but Garen was half-elf, and he was annoying as hell, and Craig didn't really like him. Craig doesn't like elves.
He doesn't mind elves per
Per
se. But he really
Uh,
starts hating when they whip around in your face.
But don't put that out there, because it's going to be a fun thing to play with when she really decides to put stuff out there, and then Craig's like, well, I don't even... Like, you're an elf. Like, oh, that's just gross.
You should be nicer to other races, Craig.
Oh, I just lost my sound.
Uh-oh. Well, I'll read this other question then while you're trying to figure out your shit.
You're gonna make
So
a
it
lot of sound
seems
if I
that
stick
most
it
guest
there.
NPCs are
the
friendly
pack.
to the party. However, I question Kimbleton's true loyalty if you were forced to choose between the party and his employer, Swiftwinds. That being said, would you ever consider having a guest PC come in who is either openly or secretly hostile to the party and play that character for the evening? Everybody in the party is already hostile to everybody else in the party, so I don't know that I need to add more internal conflict into this couch. Like, they're all pretty good at hating on each other.
Like, did you see Alex stab
open.
Quigley?
So I don't know that I am the one who's going to introduce more internal conflict. That being said, I also don't know that I would want to talk about that on a Q&A, because if I'm going to do that, I would want it to come total, like, I don't want anybody to know whether to expect that or not, you know? If I'm going to do that, it's going to come out of left field and be a real shocker for everybody. You know, that's what I really want. Yeah, yeah.
Nobody
Yeah, nobody
expected that
expects the
one.
Lunai Inquisition, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think that again, there's a ton of internal conflict in this party, and it's actually very difficult sometimes because they don't like I don't still know that any two members of this party like each other, except for Lyra. Like, Lyra likes Crag, but even Crag doesn't even return that. He's just like, So it's
But
like,
then
I
it's
don't.
funny because just when you think that we're getting along,
Yeah.
no,
Oh yeah,
was like, no.
as soon as you start to get along a little bit, something happens that just rips it apart. So yeah.
Oh my god.
It's tough because throwing in another hostile member of the party would definitely put things on a chaotic spin that I'm not sure how I would want to do that if I were going to do it.
It's important to point out that currently Marcus doesn't dislike or like anyone.
Nope.
He just knows he's with them.
Do you like anybody? No.
I think he
Not
likes
current
Quigley.
not current version of Marcus is just like,
Cool. I'm here.
okay.
I'm here just doing things.
I liked when I came in and because you guys were all like already like, oh, we're gonna have to convince Lord Marcus to come. Like, Lord Marcus, do you want to go to this draft? I was like, yeah, all right, sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Where are we going?
all right. That's fine.
So does anyone else think that it was weird yesterday when Quigley was like not wanting to do things? It was like really.
It was
like,
real weird.
It was like, what the hell?
You guys were playing it real precious. Which
Yeah,
like,
because
to
you
me,
introduced spores.
No, it was
Yeah,
as
no,
soon
okay,
as you
and
were
that's
like,
fine. Here's the thing.
no,
I was totally cool with like this, like we're wary of the spores. Good, great. But it was like, okay, we're gonna camp out and watch to see what happens. Okay, we did one fight. It was tough. We're gonna go to bed at 11 a.m.
What do you gotta do?
We're just gonna wait for another
go
week.
to sleep. You gotta do one thing and go to sleep and keep doing that every damn day. We're gonna be here for 7 days.
like we're gonna do one building a day, and it's just gonna be like, who wants to watch this?
That's
Come
the
on,
smart
guys.
way to do it. It's called dungeon crawling.
Crawling.
We're crawling.
Yeah, but here's honestly what starts to happen at that point is that
We never
you guys
lose.
think because to me you guys are in dangerous territory, and if you honestly believe that the way this game works is like you get to go over and hit the camp button and 8 hours passes and you're okay and you get all your hit points and spells back and just go on to the next thing, like, no, I'm gonna start throwing tons of shit at you every night until you guys are not only exhausted but have no more resources, and before you even get into the dungeon you're dead. Like, I can't just let you guys just camp out in enemy territory for a week so that you can slow play it.
I disagree.
No, he even before we saw any of the things, he didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, no, he was very, very cautious.
He was like, no, we're
very
gonna stay
cautious.
back. We're
Yeah.
gonna watch the horses. We're gonna do this. I'm like, what the hell?
It's
Like,
very,
Well,
yeah,
he's
it was
literally
yeah.
almost a month of being removed from the situation.
No, he's had a real rough run in combats. But I don't know that would inspire, like, it's weird that would inspire him to hold back so much, because to me it's like he would be ready to get in something and do something.
Do you think
know?
it was a training at Arender? Maybe they.
Yeah, maybe
when
they.
he was there
Yeah,
and he
that's
was
true. He
training
did.
and
He
they taught
actually
him.
had the training.
I want you to
Ton of
know
restraint.
that I
Quit
caught.
going forth.
I know what you did last night. Last night you put an obstacle in front of us and then just went, the solution is just go around. And last night when I was sitting there, I was like, Jim just made this be a thing when, like, it was like, just walk around.
Oh, walk around thing.
the gulch. Which Marcus
wasn't
was, which
last
I
night,
would have
though.
done. Marcus would have done. I would have been like, yeah, let's just walk around. But then I was like, Craig told this Marcus to use magic, so like, boop. I'm over here now.
I mean, ultimately, you know, and the thing is, it was walk around, but it was just required. Like, it was a skill based challenge. Can you get the horses to go? Can you jump them? Can you, like, I didn't necessarily care how you did it. It was just like, here's a thing. Figure out how to get across it. Like,
Walk
What was
around.
going to be on the road that we were so scared of?
don't worry about it. If you ever go back there,
we
you
were
might
so
find
scared.
out.
We were so scared.
You were
of the
terrified. I
things.
saw you all
Terrified.
shaking. You were all
Terrified.
shaking in your boots.
The couch was wet over here.
Yeah, it was shameful, really shameful.
I pressed the digitate.
Oh, you pressed the digitate.
It's from Lyra casting water so much.
Oh my god. Hope Tracy says next episode I have to miss. I'll send my comments in advance. It seems that we get to do that, LOL.
Oh, okay.
I'll be
Well, we're
guessing, of
sorry that you
course.
won't be here, but
I'll be guessing, of course, but it should work out.
Yeah, if you just send me a list of them
Yeah,
and,
we'll-
and
we'll
like a
insert
time
them, yeah.
code you want them in, or I can insert them randomly. Cool. Connie wants to know where they can get the Team Jimjam and
the team shirts.
Crag
yes.
shirts.
Yeah, the team shirts you will be able to get on the WIC site, but it's broked.
Yeah, something happened.
It is broked,
Whoa.
and
Whoa.
so
Blame it on what?
trying to fix that. I actually have had zero time to dig into that, and of course, foolishly this morning I worked on the other things that we were doing and didn't go to look at that. So, oops. Yeah, let me check that out because currently you can't buy any shirts. But soon you'll be able to buy the team shirts. There are more team shirts coming. It's just a matter of I have to make them and get them in the store.
And that still sending him out to Vegas like for half the week, so he's still barely scraping by with his time. So.
I am barely here, but I'm trying. I'm working hard to disappoint you all.
Working hard
to let you all down. But yeah, I think there's some exciting stuff coming up here. Next episode, in theory, will visually look different when you are watching it. There should be some new bells and whistles involved. Not all the bells and whistles. This is a slow burn. There's gonna be a build up to getting into everything. But yeah, we're excited to show you guys some new stuff or things. And yeah, I don't know how much I want to give away, but I think I'd just say visually some things will look different. Hopefully more betterer.
More better.
And we'll continue to look more betterer. And next month, June, we may have a new sponsor as well.
Yes, that's correct.
So
we're working hard on some stuff.
Next week already?
Could potentially be next week or the next week after that.
Where does the time go?
It's almost
it flies.
I remember when we were talking about, all right, we got 6 days to get this up.
The year's almost half over.
Yeah.
It's 6 months later.
Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I do have to email a person about a thing.
Email a person about a thing.
I got to email a person about a thing.
I got to email a person about a thing too.
I'm doing a work thing. Hang on. I'm doing a thing, not a work thing, this thing for an artist. Shh, tell no one. They don't know.
But
cool, guys.
For the people who saw the show yesterday, what was the craziest thing for you guys?
What was it for you, Craig?
Well, it's always amazing to me how you can have all the feels in the game, like, and it could flip in a second. Like, and you go in and you're not always thinking. It's just like in real life, like you're going down the street and you're not like, well, there's a possibility I could die. Like I get hit by a car or something could happen. You don't really think about that.
Right.
But like just like last night, going into the game, having a lot of fun. Like, oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna play a game.
Get hit by a car in the game?
Well, no, like, dude, we came up on those guys and it's like, holy crap, like, and we didn't think really anything of it. It was like, oh, these little pieces of crap, and try to fight them.
That's actually one of the most interesting things to me is like you guys were terrified of the myceloids and the fungus. Like you guys were really like crawling through that, trying to figure out how is it dangerous, what's going to happen.
Like, oh,
little dudes came up, and they wrecked you. They wrecked you, and you guys were just like, charge them, kill them. I don't know.
But no, that's a funny point because even when I was talking with Chat and we were off on a tangent joke, and then Alex rolled her crit fail crit success, and it was just like. Like everybody's just what?
Ben didn't even know. He didn't even hear. He was like doing something and he heard that he got shot. And he's like, what?
Ben's was my favorite because that was to me like the ultimate karmic. Just
I know
fuckery with him.
But I think I said it before. I don't know if no, but yeah. Because I was thinking it earlier. I was thinking earlier because when he was looking at you all smug about how you couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
And I thought, what if Jim rolls a 20 on Quigley? Like with this 4 times thing.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna get hit hard.
Very hard. Yeah.
And then of course it just happened with
So a 4-time crit.
But both times that he got critted last night was right after he was like arguing with me about whether the decisions I was making were because like the first time it was, well, shouldn't she have to roll to hit me after she rolled a 1? I was like, yeah, fine, roll. And she rolls a 20 and does way more damage than she would have if he'd have just taken the hit.
Yeah, if he just would have taken the 1 arrow, 1d8.
And then with when I was gonna go attack Ashley with the kick, and he was like, "Well, I'm right there. Why is he?" I was like, "Okay, fine. He's gonna kick you. 20 on the die." And I was like, "Ah, gotcha." I was like, "Yeah. Oh, why are you arguing with me all the time? You're gonna get critted."
But you can't. I feel like you can't get too comfortable. And it's like, oh, we just leveled up. Oh, we're stronger. We just leveled up. Like we're tougher. We're this. It's like no, because everything gets tougher. And
the only games you can ever be comfortable in are ones run by John Bucco.
Oh, the Jump Beaker games where you
That's
all
the
guys are
one.
gods.
You can actively try to die and it won't happen.
He's
won't
like, no,
work.
you don't die.
No.
He's like, you don't die. You.
In fact, you know what? You should be stronger now.
Oh God.
You have an innate ability you didn't know about that all of a sudden +7 strength.
Tobias is going to be at the next episode live, even if he's dead, tired. Tobias, you can sleep when you're dead. Right?
Yeah, you better be watching.
You got to have your priorities, all right?
Yeah,
and
you gotta-
obviously, it's watching us.
yeah,
live.
Someone's gonna die.
Yeah, keep your head on straight and what? I have a question. I have a dumb question.
Okay.
Does anybody care about our intros? Because they make me laugh all the time. The white text on the
I like
black
'em.
background. I like them. I don't know. They're funny to me. I definitely still want us to have an intro, and I know we've talked, and I think we know what we're gonna film for it. But like, I like them. They're fun.
Yeah.
Like I like that started as a, like you said, we have like 6 hours to make
What are we gonna
dragons and things after dragons and stuff. It was like, what are we gonna do? And then it was just like, well, here's our intro video now. Because I didn't even think about it until almost like a few hours before the show. I was like, we don't have an intro.
People missed the voiceovers on they missed the old intro.
Oh
Conor
well.
Whatever says they missed the old one. And
Well, fine, Connie.
Tobias
Pay us the
does
money to get
too.
the.
yeah.
No, I know that. Yeah, Brian Summers' old intros were really great. And the intro that we had for stuff was really great, but it was, I remember it being very, very intensive to make. It was a long process. It was very difficult, and that's not a like we can't do it again kind of thing. But it's like, again, right now with
Adam's in
him
Vegas.
gone for half the week, we're scrambling to put everything together. We've got these sponsors. Like we're actually generating a lot of content. We know that you haven't seen it yet. We're actually generating a lot of content for like Sirenscape and other sponsors. That's when you guys see it, you'll be like, oh, that's really cool. It's just it hasn't been released yet. So we've actually been really, really busy in ways that you guys haven't seen. So it's like
So what are these guys
we want to
doing?
do all these things.
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
gotta
I'm donating to this show, this dragon show, and they're not doing anything.
Well,
So,
to put it in scale, every shoot day is about 12 hours of our time minimum, and then double that at least in editing. Even even a simple graphic to get up, you're looking 2 to 4 hours to get it right. So like,
well, think about, like, honestly, even the name Dragons and Things, right? Like, it sounds simple, or even Dragons and Stuff initially. Like, let's take a long time to be like, well, what sounds the best? Like, what were we gonna call it at one point? We were just call
I
it
don't know. It was
That Dragon Show.
Dragon
We were literally
Show.
gonna call it That Dragon Show, and so that's how we came up with Dat Dragon Show as a URL. Yeah.
It was interesting because we were pretty comfortable with that name, but there were a lot of people who were in like open rebellion against it. It was a contentious period.
That's right.
When
Yeah,
because we were like
Jim
trying.
and I were like,
we were like, this is
down
what
for
the show
That
name
Dragon
is, and
Show.
everybody else was like, no,
No,
not.
no, it wasn't that one.
No, he was.
No. It was some dragon show.
Oh, some Dragon
some
Show.
Dragon
It was
Show.
some
That's right,
it was some
yeah,
dragon
yeah.
show, but it was like, but that's just kind of weird and vague, and it's like,
Doesn't matter. I mean, we're
No, it
we're
matters
way
now.
back.
Let's get into it.
We're
Let's-
way
let's-
beyond that.
I'm
mean,
done
we're
with the
dragons and
catharsis.
things.
Let's open it up.
yeah, dragons and things. It's kind of a little funnier because it was
Well,
like
it's
a
a tie-in
weird,
to
it was a
the-
tie-in to the other one.
It was a kind of a nod to you fans out there that
and it was kind of a joke that turned into our life.
that turned into
It's not a,
I
it's not a
actually,
joke.
I have a question for the fans. Those of you who are watching.
We don't have any of those.
Those of
Well,
you who
there's
are
like-
watching
there's
us.
like
Those
4
of you
people.
who are here watching us. So
I know a lot of
noticed-
people watch these things later on too, and
Yeah.
I also know that it is Memorial Day weekend. So
Yeah,
It's
that's
true.
true.
We'll get
That's
we'll
true.
get questions later. We'll answer them.
Yeah,
Right on.
but I have actually noticed that since we obviously switched sharing methods from our old to the new, we're no longer going to be on Facebook. We're moving away from Facebook, and I'm noticing that we're getting pretty consistently like 30, 35 shares, which is a lot fewer than we used to get. And my question is, if you are not sharing through the new method, is it because it's too complicated? Is it because you don't want to? Is it because you don't have Twitter? Like what is it about that particular method with the sharing the Twitch page via Twitter? What is it about that is stopping you if you're not sharing? Because we're like numerically getting far fewer shares for the contests than we used to.
What was our viewership on Facebook? Because right now, 35-ish shares per episode is about half of our live Twitch viewership.
But we were usually getting, our lows were in the 60s on Facebook.
Well, no, I mean, let's flip it around just for a second. I think viewership on Facebook, to answer Jared's question, would be anywhere from about 60 people up to, I mean, at one point we crested 100 for maybe a week or two. So arguably that's actually about the same viewership that we're getting on Twitch now. So the Twitch viewership and the Facebook viewership in terms of their highs are about the same. But what Jim's saying is that when we were at those highs, we might have, well, at our peak, we had about 101 shares, I think, was our highest. But that's been a while, and I know people are learning the system, and we've moved around a lot, and we went from 2 weeks to 1 week to a whole different show name and like all that stuff. So it might just be a little bit, it's always going to be a slow build.
Hope Tracy brings up a really interesting point that the personal branding on Twitter is far more important than Facebook. Like, because you have your brand.
That's true.
And that a lot of people won't cross-pollinate that if it's not on brand. So like that's
because on your that's a good point. Yeah, on your Facebook wall you'd just be like, yeah, I saw this funny cat thing. But on Twitter you might be like, I'm friggin' Dragon Show, and I only talk about dragons.
LOL, I share to Twitter, but I won't to Facebook.
Well, I mean, and
then there's that side of things.
Can we just all agree that social media sucks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, none of us like. I mean, that. I mean, it's well, maybe you're fine. You're the only one.
Yes.
But Connie Rodehaver Kaiser says, I have 8 Twitter followers, and they're all DaT family. I can share to FB to a group of 5,000 RPG gamers. Interestingly enough, Connie, like by all means, you can again sharing our Twitch on Facebook, however you want to do it. That's all fine. But an interesting thing about like hashtags and sharing on Twitter is that even if you personally don't have a wide reach, like the more those hashtags, like the hashtag that we use, the more that pops up on Twitter, that helps it propagate more. Like even if your personal reach isn't that huge, like just the fact that that hashtag is being used more consistently on Twitter is actually big for the show. So it's still good to do it on Twitter.
It's also an interesting thing where on Twitter, hashtags are searchable ad nauseum. They are obviously on Facebook as well, but on Facebook, you might have to go in and type Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder or Tabletop RPG into the search box, and then you'll get a whole bunch of Facebook pages and people pages and different pages and all that stuff, whereas on Twitter, if you use the hashtag Pathfinder RPG or TTRPG or RPG, all of a sudden you're going to see all the people using the hashtag RPG in the freaking world. So if a large number of those people are also using the hashtag Dragons and Things, then it's like, oh, well, what's this Dragons and Things thing? And
Well,
I might click on that.
And there's people that will take that hashtag and add it to a list.
Right.
And then that list propagates.
Also, next week we're going to have a far simpler way to share, so you won't have to worry about the hashtags.
Yeah, we've found
We'll
that
worry
we
about
can
those for you.
include those in the post. So like, it'll just be, you click the buttons. You don't have to type a darn thing if you don't want to. It'll just be there for you.
Always good to type something.
This is the best show ever. I love it so much. Hashtag RPG, best show ever. D&D life, like all the things.
Oh, it's gonna be the worst.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awful. But
like, my brand is ruined.
No, my brand.
Well, I remember on Facebook we would get shares, like we would have 107 shares. Then the next day it would be like 89 shares. Because people would share it just to try to get entered. And as soon as they didn't win, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Because the brand is important. Because, it matters.
I mean, it does.
You take it with you.
Like, I've gotten jobs based on my Twitter following and reach.
I don't get jobs.
It matters.
No one likes me.
In this world, it does.
It shouldn't.
People who have more of
I think what's interesting, though,
get jobs.
People are
jobs, all
right.
People are pointing out, though, and I'm not saying even right now in the chat, but Twitch is its own unique beast. It's going to take us some time to kind of wrangle it and figure it out. And Twitch is interesting only because something that Facebook didn't allow is, as I pointed out, if you were to search for Pathfinder on Facebook, you might find a whole bunch of pages, and then you'd have to figure out what page you want to click on. Then when you click on that page, maybe you'll see that they make videos, or you'll see whatever they do if you bother to go through it. But like on Twitch, if there's 100 people watching something, chances are it's in the top 5 or 10 of tabletop games, and
populates
and then it populates at the top, so it's one of the first things you see. So the more viewers that we get watching, the more viewers that will then watch.
Right,
It's kind of
yeah.
it feeds itself. So you know, whether that's through sharing on Twitter that brings in those viewers, or whether it's just watching other Twitch channels and being like, hey guys, I don't, you know, if this is cool, just wanted to tell you about another show, Dragons and things, because we don't want to be those people that are like going into other people's channels and ruining everything for them enjoying their show.
Yeah.
But it's always, it's never a bad idea to be like, hey guys, I really love this show that I'm watching, but I also like Dragons and things if you haven't checked it out. They're on a different night, so they're not interfering with you, you know.
Now, the key with that is don't just pop in and be like, hey, watch Dragon's Throw and go away. Like,
yeah, watch your other content.
Engage the content, and because that's ultimately how it grows.
Wow, this really sucks. I
See,
really wish I was
doesn't
over
suck.
at Dragons and things. Yeah. Wow, you're still watching it? I can't believe you guys are still in this room.
Why are you doing this?
And I perfect world these other communities on Twitch that
We'll
aren't competing
collaborate
with us.
them.
They'll
Yeah.
collaborate with us. They'll host us, which will then bring us more viewership. Like,
And we'll host them too. So
like,
that-
and that's what Twitch feels more like a home for
Yeah.
video content than Facebook.
Because Facebook is turning it into pay to play. Like, we want to be more about friends and family. You don't want to see garbage things from stupid shows. You just want you to
Well,
connect
it's
with
But we're a
interesting.
family show, Eric.
But it's also interesting because to be fair, when we were with Vision Entertainment, we were making the show for Facebook, and we had a social team that was promoting the show, which we don't have now as Dragons and things, obviously. But in part of that, that social team was consistent for that whole year. And so the way the show was promoted was consistent through the whole year. And what you can do is you could go back in our timeline and watch our views rise over a long enough timeline, but also do this a whole bunch. And that, again, was part of the Facebook algorithm, because as we promoted the show consistently, there would be things where Facebook would be like, oh, we're changing the algorithm, so now when you write the word watch, it's not promoted as much. Facebook does that. Whether you know it or not, the words that you use in Facebook, tune in, watch, check out, type in the comments below. If you use those types of phrases, Facebook will actually limit how much it shares your post. If you share a link to Twitch on Facebook, it will not be seen by your friends very much. You'll get like 1 or 2 people in your friends list that will see it. We'll appreciate it. We'll still want you to share it in all the social media, because those 1 and 2s may add up. But it's interesting. So Facebook is constantly evolving. All social media is. It would be wrong to say none of the other social media places are doing it, but you can just check that out on that and look at the numbers and see how they go. So, because that was always interesting to us. Sometimes it would just be like from week to week, be like, we had a great show, so many viewers, and then what did we do wrong? And it's like, well, we didn't do anything wrong. It's
Well,
just,
there were conventions that
it's just
happened
changed.
too.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
remember that when
sometimes.
the world.
Gen Con, when
Yeah.
Gen Con happened, it was like, there's 2 people watching.
Yeah.
Cool.
No one cares.
Yep.
Not Gen Con, Comic Con.
Comic-Con,
That was the one. Comic Con was the one where like everyone was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be gone for
Yeah.
that Friday, so
Boo.
I mean, I'll watch
What are we gonna do? By that time, we'll know how to just press a button and
Maybe.
turn it all on, right?
unless I like code it or something that you can't, like finger thumbprint.
Nice.
I mean, no advancement
I guess
without
if
me.
you really want to specifically sabotage it so that we
Yeah,
get
like,
screwed
why-
on Comic-Con weekend, I don't know what your payoff is for that, but okay.
Yeah, how are you gonna watch it if you're?
Well, I think
you do
everyone.
that.
Oh, that's true.
How would you watch it then if you did
I mean, I'll
that?
thumbprint on Thursday before I go down.
Well, why would you?
Which you got to come out every 30 minutes, make sure the computer doesn't fall asleep.
Oh, jeez.
But don't you want us to win?
Why don't you just all come to Comic Con?
All right,
I've been
guys.
to Comic Con before.
It's almost 2 o'clock, and I don't
I
think
had
we're
to-
at this point providing any value to our fans
I
because we're
had to
just
eat-
talking about nonsense
You were on
now.
E Online last
Yeah, I
time
was
you were
in
down
Yellow in
there.
One picture, but then I had to duck into a bathroom and eat my buffalo jerky and cherries. It tasted like shit.
I mean, I
That was
can't.
terrible. I couldn't. We were there forever, and it's like Comic Con is like Times Square
I
in
just
a
had
building.
I just had a vision in my head where the three of us just stand up and walk away, and he just talks for
He
another
just talks
hour.
about poop
He just
cherries
talks
for like
about
the next
poop
20 minutes.
cherries for the next.
We were like, it's going to be great. We're going to walk around Comic-Con and we're going to be dressed up. And we couldn't walk 10 feet without getting swarmed by people who wanted to take pictures.
But that's why
But there
we
was,
went to
like-
Comic-Con.
But it didn't do anything.
It didn't help us because nobody knew who Craig was. It was
Except
just the
for-
costume, and
except
they were like,
for,
"Oh, okay."
What's her name? From
Castle. Yeah, Molly.
Oh, yeah.
Molly
Molly
C.
Quinn.
Quinn was the only person who knew who Craig was.
Which was
We're
really
like, you know, and
weird.
she's like, yeah, I know who Craig
I mean,
is.
she's
We're like,
in,
what
she's
the
in the
hell?
nerd circle.
Yeah.
She said she found it by going down the YouTube spiral. So, I mean, it was
If you
kind of
go
flattering,
deep
but
enough,
it wasn't.
if you really dig deep,
At the bottom, at
But
the
do
very bottom.
Do you know what's funny?
that's when she stopped. She was like, "I can't go any further than this."
Do you know what's funny about you saying that nothing happened? I got my job at HD Films, which became Vision Entertainment, which eventually
of
made a
Comic-Con?
show, which eventually made.
Oh, because we went
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
which
the Nerd
eventually
HQ
made
or
Dragons
whatever,
and stuff.
yeah.
we went to Nerd HQ,
Which
and
eventually became Dragons and Things.
that's true. I remember
so
being there.
it's pretty
I was
crazy.
there.
Yeah, and did we?
But from
We met-
eating jerky and cherries in the bathroom, nothing happened from that. It was the only place I could go to get away
I mean, something
to
happened.
eat food.
Something happened. Something happened.
Hope Tracy says Adam needs to answer my question about his hair first. What is your?
Oh
question
yeah,
about
they've
his
been
hair? Like,
they've
what's
been
happening?
getting into all the details about hair products.
Yeah, you
and
growing out your
whatnot.
hair? People want to know.
So
if
they
you're
want to
growing
know
your hair out.
what your hair treatments are.
But are you growing it out? I think Hope Tracy wants to know if you're growing your hair out. You've grown it out now.
I'm answering your question with another question. Why?
Because they
What
want
do you
inquiring
know?
minds want to
'Cause-
know.
because
No, because the other day in the Q&A that I did, they got all into my hair because of Ben from Sirenscape.
yeah.
Was like, well, what about your
We
hair?
spent- you
We
talked about your
spent 20
sea salt
minutes on it with
treatments.
Ashley,
Yes.
or not Ashley, with Diana.
Maybe that'll be at one of our other shows. Apparently, one of our
Hair,
other pieces of
hair and
content will be
things.
beauty tips from DaT Crew.
Beauty and things?
But I'll answer the question.
You're handling it a lot now?
You're handling it a lot now.
I touch my hair?
I mean,
now?
I'll be honest. In the past, let's say month, I have noticed you come in a little more put together in the hair area
Oh.
when you show up.
Well, here's Tracy.
like
I'm gonna
it's
answer your question.
clearly
about
just been
Adam's
washed
hair.
or something. And then
No,
you're like,
Adam had recently gotten a haircut and trimmed his beard. I don't know if you've noticed.
Oh,
but
he
it
did
got-
trim the
yeah,
beard.
He
I
trimmed,
trimmed the beard. I didn't get a
Yeah.
haircut.
I thought you got a haircut.
No, I did not get a haircut. No, what I would say is that you.
Well, he's not going to say.
No, you. Well, it's a thing that will just make Jim mad. You can always tell when we're about to film something as Marcus because I will grow out my hair. But the thing we were going to film as Marcus isn't happening, and it's making me mad.
Well, I thought you were going to make Jim mad.
Well, yeah,
I
because
would
I
look
didn't
at
say
his
the words.
face,
Because I
he
didn't
didn't
say the
care.
words. Because I didn't say the words. It's fine.
so you
walking
can't
in
say the
circles,
words.
and I'm not mad about it.
I thought there was a possibility of a third season happening, and so
It's off the table.
Where are we gonna find time
It's
to do
not-
that?
This is all
Hey!
far deeper.
We all got to finish every one of these Q&As with like the motherfucker. Someone has to go crazy. Jared, it's your
No.
turn.
I'm not crazy. Yeah.
I'm not that personality. My brand is not that.
Jared's worried about his Twitter brand. He can't be going crazy.
This
So-
is not on Twitter or anything. This is.
But
so-
we are
this is-
going to film a little. There is going to be a thing with Quigley and Marcus and Lear that we have to film this month.
Yeah,
we got to
that's true.
film
We
that.
gotta
yeah.
get going on that.
Yes, we do. And we have to get the other thing.
We have
Yes.
too many things.
Yeah, too many,
There's a
too many
lot
things.
of things.
Lot of
So
things.
basically, when I film stuff as Marcus,
Things.
I have traditionally wanted Marcus to have long hair because he had it in the show. I think this is longer than I've ever had it, so I'm not sure. I think it is.
No, I think
Season
it was
2
longer.
was
as
long.
But in terms of like my life and having to deal with long hair because it's not something I traditionally have, I have discovered that the most contained I can have it is to just pull it back. So that is why you guys have noticed it at least doing something, I guess, is the best way to answer that question.
Well,
and I
Tracy's
trimmed my
a
beard.
quality professional. She notices things.
Cool.
Cool. Well, that's great. I'm glad we've just had a long conversation about my hair.
Oh, that wasn't long.
No?
That was surface compared to what Eric had to go through.
You want to touch about a little bit of that, Eric?
No.
How's your
Just
salt
Go
spray?
back to the other video.
You go watch Craig's
Go
beauty
watch
tips.
the Q&A, and you will see when it started. And then Sirenscape Ben was like, "I'm so happy I did that." And he's like, I stepped back, laughing into the shadows. And he's like, he started his whole thing, and everyone was asking all these questions. And I need a haircut, is what it is, or a trim. That's what I need.
Caveman Dave style.
Not that short, just a little trim. Difficult though, because I don't trust anyone cutting my hair.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Jim can do it.
They
I have
don't do a good job.
known this man. Yeah, I've known you
about?
for 8 years now, and at no point have you ever been like,
No, the guy.
I liked a haircut or I trust a guy. But you
No, I
had
trust-
you had one guy.
Ryan. Ryan was my guy.
Ryan.
And he would, so he got fired from his job for being late at the one salon he was at, but he was super good at cutting hair. He had really bad ADD. Like he could watch TV and have a conversation while cutting my hair, and it was the best haircut ever. And then I had him come into the house and he would cut my wife's hair and my hair. And it was it was awesome. It was a one-stop shop. He came here. It was the best. We didn't have to do anything with the kids.
Let's get Ryan.
He won't-
Call Ryan up.
Ryan won't come anymore. He lives far away, and he's like, come to this new salon. And I'm like, why
You know
don't
what it
come to
is?
my
We'll
house?
have a DaT day.
Ryan's telling stories to his friends about there was this dude who would have me go to his house and cut his wife's hair, and it's really weird. I don't feel comfortable with that anymore, so I told him no. That's the story he's telling.
At one point, I was getting my hair cut by the stylist that did Sawyer's hair on Lost for the first 3 seasons.
That's right.
And it was awesome. And he would come to my apartment.
So
and he
when you
kept
say you
wanting
don't
me-
trust anyone, you're lying to us. There's at
No,
least two
So
people.
you scare them all away.
No,
Is
it
it
was-
By
No,
having them come to his house to do a haircut, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
No.
How is that not weird?
That guy
that's pretty
got
normal.
that guy got busy with other shows and work and stuff, and then he just didn't have time. And it was like, I got to find something else. And then I found the other guy.
Ryan.
Yeah. But it was funny because he kept wanting, because the guy that cut Josh Holloway's hair in the show, he kept wanting me to get highlight. He's like, well, we need to color your hair, and if you really want to have it how he had it in the show, and I'm like, nah, I'm
There's
not gonna
the
do
truth.
that.
There's the truth. He wanted it just like Sawyer's hair.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't want it.
Didn't.
That guy did. I was like, no, I don't want to dye my hair. I don't want to dye my hair. Oh God.
Truth
Need to
comes
find
out.
somebody. Does anyone out there have a good recommendation for a haircut for people who have really straight hair? That I can't cut my hair
Well, I'll
like
just
this.
call Ryan again and be like, I'm sorry.
You just
Come out
make
to
up
my
with
garage
Ryan.
this time.
Dude, make up with Ryan.
We'll film it.
There's nothing. I don't think he has time to come all. He's across the world.
Some guy said go bald.
You're going to China?
No.
Who's
Some guy.
Now we
said
got
go
some
bald.
guy.
Some guy in here.
Some guy.
Some guy.
He's like, yeah, go bald.
Like shave my head bald or lose my hair.
Those are two options.
Yeah, those are two options.
What if you just
Uniquely
lost the
different.
top and kept the sides super long?
I say you just call Ryan, man.
Like
and
Hulk
make,
Hogan?
Make up with him. Just,
Dude,
buy
that's
him
what I'm
something
saying.
nice.
Set
him,
it up and he'll come out.
He lives in Pasadena.
Oh, because that's
not
all
far.
far.
That's
He lives
not
in
far.
Pasadena. He works in Hollywood.
He comes right by you. He literally drives by the 134.
Tell him you'll
No,
give
he
him
doesn't.
4 haircuts, and then there's 4. We'll all get our haircut at the same
No, the
time.
past couple times didn't work out, so I went to this other lady, and it just didn't. Was not good. I sat
This
in the
wasn't
chair.
the same.
I was so mad. I'm so glad that we're gonna finish talking about hair. So good. Every time.
I just imagine Eric sitting furious in a chair
Oh,
while
you have
this
no
lady's
idea,
cutting
yeah.
his hair, and she's got to be so nervous.
But
at
you
that
know-
point.
imagine the
she
small
didn't
Because
realize.
you know how he doesn't shake people's hands at car dealerships.
Oh yeah,
He just looks at them.
that's probably how he introduces. When he gets a new stylist, he's like, "I'm getting my hair cut. What can you do?
You aren't Ryan.
Well, I started.
Can I trust you?"
I told her that's exactly what I said. I said, I've had a lot of bad experiences. My hair is very difficult to cut. You can't just take it and cut it like this. You can't wet. Don't wet
takes
it
her
and do
hand.
that. I did.
He's like,
He wants it
Feel
fat.
this
what she
hair.
did.
Do you think you could just
know what
cut
she
this
did?
across? Let me see your scissors. Get those out of
washed
here.
my hair. She washed my hair. First thing she did is she combed it and then cut it like this. And then I was like, oh, the whole time I was raging in the chair.
That
Terrible.
would be the worst experience.
Not going back to her. I'm not
With each
shaving it
cut.
all. I'm not shaving it all. Some guy. Some guy, like for half my life, I had a shaved head. There's pictures out there of me when I was younger, and I had a buzz cut forever. So now I don't know. I'm staying with the long hair. Jim actually did
Let's sit
write
on this
that
for a
Craig.
while.
Let's just stay here.
Let's stay here for a while.
TIL.
Dwell in this moment.
What's TIL?
Today I learned.
Oh, today I learned Craig is a prima donna.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Oh
Today
yeah.
you learned it.
Yeah.
This was the moment.
Originally, Crag was a shaved head character.
I think so.
The way you wrote it, I remember the original thing for the character for Walking in Circles. And if by a prima donna, it's very particular about his hair or my hair, yes, I guess then I am a prima donna. Thanks, some guy. This one caused the bucket to overflow. Some guy. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna narrow it down because there's only so many patrons at this.
We will find you.
Q&A level. I will find you.
We will find you.
Craig has a very particular set of skills. They are raging and looking for Ryan. And
I
some
know where
guy.
Ryan is.
Just go to him.
I'm finding
Go
someone
to
else.
him, Craig.
Go to
I'm
him.
finding someone
Go
else.
to him.
I'm finding someone
There's
else.
no one like Ryan out
Here's the
there.
thing.
I love
though.
how it's like I cannot get my hair cut because Ryan's at a salon in Pasadena. I can't.
No,
I
he's in
just-
Hollywood.
He's in Hollywood.
Oh,
No, I know.
Hollywood.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Hollywood.
Okay,
I
here's the
I
thing.
can't go.
Here's the
there.
thing.
I just can't do it.
So he comes over here, and for $60, he cuts my hair and cuts Tracy's hair. He's here for like 30 minutes, and then he's out. So I go to the salon. He gets $60 from me that I pay to him, but he doesn't get all that money because most of it goes to the salon.
I get you. Okay.
But he's voluntarily working at the salon. If,
That's
he,
his
if
job.
he's
That's
like,
how
I'm not
he
going to
makes
come
money.
get the full $60.
Yeah, I mean, it's his
I
call.
thought
That's
I
his
thought
call.
Ryan and I were cool. Like he would come over. I'd
That's
see
what
him
it
so
is.
much.
He feels betrayed by Ryan. He's not. Craig's not ready to seek Ryan out right now.
He doesn't want to find anyone new.
He can't move on, but he can't bring himself to go to
Some guy
Ryan.
says use some of that Patreon money and hire him. The Patreon money is for the show.
Tobias made his evening with
I'm glad this is what you needed.
I don't know if Ryan's not gonna. I don't trust anyone else because I've tried a lot of people, and then when they cut my hair, then I get really upset about it, and I'm like, it's awful. Like at this point, it's grown out, so it kind of hides the bad haircut that I got.
Have you gone to like the Paul Mitchell school and have one of their instructors do it?
Oh, school?
Well, you get the instructor. Because when you go to a school, you can choose the tier. You can be like, I want a new guy, which you never do. I want a second year, or I want an instructor to do it. And it's like $12 for Vidal Sassoon trained.
I mean, the obvious answer is literally just go to the one dude who can cut your hair that you like. But I can't help you if that's just
Hope
forbidden.
Tracy's with me. I totally understand this Ryan issue. This is why I haven't had a haircut.
This is
in
a Ryan
2
issue.
Years.
This is a Ryan issue. Someone find Ryan.
When you
Someone
I'm gonna
find,
get
I'm gonna
Ryan
call
in for the
every
next
salon.
Q&A.
Let's get Ryan
Next
in for the
patron
next
Q&A, it'll just
Q&A.
be Ryan.
We
you
need
won't
our
tell
fans. Our fans. You know what?
And then we'll bring him in.
Someone
It'll
here.
be like a meet.
There's someone
like,
here.
Ryan, we have someone here to meet with you.
But it is. It's when you find someone that does a good job of cutting your hair. It really sucks when they're not around, and you don't want to go to anybody else. They move away.
This is my favorite thing we've ever
So
done.
We're on like
We were
20
taking-
minutes of Ryan talk, by the way.
we were taking my kids to get their haircut, and we were paying pretty good money, like $20 per haircut for the kid's haircut. And then I'm like, every time we go, the haircuts get fucking worse. And I told my wife, I'm like, I'm just gonna cut their hair, and I've been cutting their hair, and I bought a pair of nice.
Maybe cut your
Wilson.
own hair.
It's too different. Like it's too weird when you get in, like try to get in the
I
back.
can't
and
do it myself. I
I
think
try
Ryan
to do it myself. That would be a
him.
really bad idea. Some guy said Ryan the temp from The Office. Who the hell is some guy? Not Ryan the temp from The Office. Ryan the stylist from
The one and only.
Ryan, the one and only.
Oh, Ryan.
Oh my god.
Ryan, the man with the magic scissors.
See, now these are quality. This is a quality Q&A.
This is why
get once a month.
This is why we only want the patrons to have access to this.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Eric ever booked like a huge theatrical release of a movie, and he went to a press junket?
And he got a stylist.
Junket, and it was like somebody was like, so talk about your personal style. Eric's like, look, and this just. They come in, they're like, Eric, we have 10 more reporters after this, so you got this whole. Eric's like, no, you don't understand. I just said,
they would.
Ryan's in Hollywood at another salon.
If I ever booked something like that, they would never let me talk at press junkets. Because I feel like Chris Pratt doesn't do a really great job of going right. I feel like he said he has a weird or hard time talking and doesn't say right things. They would assess very quickly. This is not the person we want to put out there.
They would put someone
go
with
on any
you.
shows.
They'd put your Benedict Cumberbatch with you.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Cumberbatch, right? Cumberbatch?
Bendernatch Cumbersnoot?
That's the one. He had to go with Tom Holland because Tom Holland was trying to spoil everything. So every time they'd ask Tom Holland a question, Benedict would go, oh, okay. And Benedict would field the question. They wouldn't let Tom Holland answer anything because Tom Holland kept giving away spoilers. So we just put someone with you. We just be like, no. Eric's very particular about his hair. Let's move on to the next question. Thank you.
Can't talk about that either.
No.
Actually, Eric has to go. He has a very...
No, Eric's very...
here's a cardboard cutout.
Cumber snatch. Oh, my God.
Well, guys.
We dealt with that.
That was Hair Talk with DaT Crew.
I don't know that we dealt with that. I think we've touched on it. I think we've grazed the surface of a much deeper issue.
Let's loop it back in.
Hair time with Craig.
Hair time with Craig.
I think we've brushed the surface of a much larger.
We could do live trims with the. I could trim the kids.
You call Ryan right now live, and we can talk this out.
He never answers his phone. He rarely returns messages right now.
He doesn't communicate. He's a poor communicator. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You guys all stop.
Oh man.
Quality content drives itself.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, this has been your exclusive.
Don't let any of this out.
Q&A for the month of May.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh my God.
Good stuff, guys.
Well, remember, episode 16 is only on Twitch. You can find it twitch.tv/DatDragonShow. You guys already all know that. Thank you so much. We're over $1,500 on our Patreon. We are climbing towards that 2,000. And because of Sirenscape and some of our other wonderful sponsors that we can't wait to tell you about, we are able to bring you episodes every single week. Look for more content that is polished and professional and not boring like these Q&As.
It's damn good.
Thank you all so much for continuing to watch. The Bit Wars are insane. Totally amazing.
They continue even after we've stopped broadcasting.
Wow.
Well, people are really like getting into it and talking like serious smack.
Oh yeah,
like, I'm gonna get you like it's almost like death talk.
It's a
on there.
competition.
Yeah, it's like
it's serious.
Dude, it's bits.
Like if you enter the Bit War, you better be ready. Like you better like arm up and be ready to bring it in the Brit War.
Because Big Red and Trill
they go big. Wild Ferret goes big.
Take you
and
out.
then what was it? Garian?
Garian Wolf.
Well, you gotta start down in the skirmishes. You gotta fight your way up to the top.
I like Voss's method. He's just like 1, start. 2,
go.
Keep going.
Fight. It's like throwing something into the ring.
Trill
like,
is
fight.
here. Trill is here. Wow,
hey, Trill.
Is it over?
We're almost. It's almost.
You missed the haircut talk.
You missed so much hair talk.
We didn't really talk about dragons and things.
But you gotta prove yourself down in the trenches in the skirmishes,
in the bit skirmishes
before you can go up to the
Bit War.
Yeah, to become the Bit War. Yeah.
You got to become a nuclear power before you can enter the Bit War.
It's like, you gonna let Big Red get ahead of you?
Voss is the little guy.
He's the
like you go with your friend at the bar and he's a little guy and he's like, oh yeah, well you talking to my friend? Oh yeah, F you, I'm gonna, yeah, you're gonna, and he starts to fight.
You know what I think
It's
was
good
funny
stuff.
that you brought up? You said, you know, the Bit Wars, I don't think anybody knows how serious these are. You know, it just seems kind of fun. It's kind of like haircuts, you know? You don't really see how serious
You don't know how
these-
serious it
I,
is.
was- I can't imagine.
You don't know what other people are
Craig
going through.
doing the small talk portion of the haircut interaction. Like,
Cut it.
That. So
silence.
you know what I think it is? I think what it is that I spend my working hours at my job, that most of you guys know is Trader Joe's. That's all I do. For like between 4 and 8 hours, I am constantly having small talk with customers, with my fellow employees. So I'm talking all day for 8 hours. So by the time it comes to do things like this, I got nothing for you. I got nothing. And
You
plus
had
my-
something. You definitely had something.
I just keep coming back for more punishment too. Just like I always come back. I'm like, yep.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Let's get out of here.
We're gonna
Let's
push that
leave.
button.
We gotta get out of here.
We're going to push a
Oh,
button.
Hit the button.
God.
Thank you all. Trill, thanks for joining us late. Check
I'm
out the
gonna
rest of
fill
the
out more
Q&A.
stuff in my folio, and I'm gonna play with my.
Oh, yeah, I
with
should
my
actually print out my
You
character
should
sheet.
have an actual character sheet.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Have a
guys. See
wonderful
you
Memorial Day
Friday.
weekend. We'll see you Friday.